Hi viewers. Now we are going to discuss about soil profile. In last class already we are discussed about ecosystem. In that topic, in continuation, we are going to study about soil profile. What is the definition of soil profile? If you see the definition, soil profile is defined as the vertical section of the soil from the ground surface downwards to where the soil meets the underlying rock. You see we are going to study about given contents. First one is soil profile and layers of soil, soil moisture, types of soil moisture, importance of soil moisture, measurements of soil moisture. We'll study in detail. To see the soil profile, the soil is the topmost layer of the earth's crust, mainly composed of organic minerals and rock particles that support life. A soil profile is a vertical cross section of the soil made of layers running parallel to the surface. These layers are known as soil horizons. The soil is arranged in layers or horizons. During its formation, these layers or horizons are known as the soil profile. It is the vertical section of the soil that is exposed by a soil pit. The layers of soil can easily be identified by the soil color and size of soil particles. If you see the different layers of soil, are first one is topsoil, second one is subsoil, third one is parent rock. This is the soil profile picture shows. The first one is the O origin, it's organic matter occupied with. And then the second one is the A origin or topsoil, and third one is the B origin or subsoil. Fourth one is the C origin or bedrock. Each layer of soil has distinct characteristics. Soil profile helps in determining the role of the soil as well. It helps one to differentiate the given sample of soil from other soil samples based on factors like its color, texture, structure, and thickness, as well as its chemical composition. If you see second one, layers of soil, the soil profile is composed of a series of horizons or layers of soil stacked one on top of the other. These layers or horizons are represented by letters O, E, O, A, E, C, B, and R. Yeah. In next, we are going to study in deep about these layers. If you see the first one is O horizon. O origin, the O origin is the upper layer of the topsoil, which is mainly composed of organic materials such as dried leaves, grasses, dead leaves, small rocks, twigs, surface organisms, fallen trees, and other decomposed organic matter. This origin of soil is often black brown or dark brown color, and this is mainly because of the presence of organic content. And another one, a horizon, it is also called as topsoil. This layer is rich in organic material and is known as the humus layer. This layer consists of both organic matter and other decomposed materials. The topsoil is soft and porous to hold enough air and water. In this layer, the seed germination takes place and new roots are produced which grows into a new plant. This layer consists of microorganisms such as earthworms, fungi, bacteria, etc. The third one is E horizon. This layer is composed of nutrients leached from the O and A horizons. This layer is more common in forested areas and has lower clay content. Then next one is B horizon or it is called as subsoil. It is the subsurface horizon present just below the topsoil and above the bedrock. It is comparatively harder and compact than topsoil. It contains less humans. It contains less humus, soluble minerals, and organic matter. It is a site of deposition of certain minerals and metal salts such as iron oxide. This layer holds enough water than the topsoil and is lighter brown due to the presence of clay soil. The soil of origin A and origin B is often mixed while plowing the fields. If you see the C horizon or saprolite, it is called as saprolite. This layer is devoid of any organic matter and is made up of broken bedrock. This layer is also known as saprolite. The geological material present in this zone is cemented. Then another one is R horizon. R horizon. It is a compacted and cemented layer Different types of rocks such as granite, basalt, and limestone are found here. Apart from the rocks, minerals and layers, soil profile also consist of a water content which is referred to as soil moisture. Then if you see the soil moisture, the water in the soil is referred to as soil moisture. Water absorption in the soil is determined by various factors. It plays a major role in soil formation. As a result of precipitation, water arrives at the surface. The particle size distribution of soil determines its porous nature and causes downward movement of water vertically, which is known as infiltration. This penetration continues deep in the layers of soil until it reaches saturation. Water and reaching this barrier cannot seep vertical further, hence moves sideways. Formation of puddles as a result of saturation is called surface bonding, which can be long lasting. Water that is available to plants is called root zone moisture, while surface soil moisture is the water available in the immediate upper region of soil. If moisture content is the soil can be measured using a device known as tensiometer. They are water filled tubes which are sealed with a porous ceramic tip towards the bottom and a gauge at the top which is devoid of air molecules. They are penetrated into the soil till the root level. Water passes between the tip of the device and the ambient soil until it reaches an equilibrium and hence tension is recorded on the gauge. Reading thus obtained give a measure of soil moisture in that region. Then types of soil moisture. The different types of water present in the soil include: first one is gravitational water. The water that reaches the water table of the soil due to the gravitational force is referred to as gravitational water. This is not available to the plants. And second one is hygroscopic water. This water is also not available to the plants. It is a thin film of water tightly held by the soil particles. And third one is chemical combined water. The chemical compounds present in the soil particles contain water. This is known as chemically combined water. This is also not available to the plants. And fourth one is capillary water. This water is available to the plants for absorption. This water exists between soil particles in small capillaries. And fifth one is atmospheric humidity. The hanging roots of the epiphytes absorb the moisture in the air due to the presence of hygroscopic hairs and spongy velamen tissues. The importance of soil moisture content. Soil water carries food nutrients for the growth of plants. Soil moisture content determines the yield of the crop in a region. Crucial in maintaining soil's temperature. And soil moisture acts as nutrients. Important for soil formation. And moisture soil is ideal for the growth of many plants that demand a huge supply of water. For example, rice. Soil moisture catalyzes biological activation of microbes in the soil. Water is the primary need for photosynthesis in plants. And if you see the measuring soil moisture, the soil moisture can be measured by various tools mentioned below. First one is tensiometers. These measure the tension of soil moisture. They are water filled tubes with a porous ceramic tip at the bottom. These are sealed and have a vacuum gauge at the top. They are inserted in the soil to the depth of the plant root zone. The readings obtained in the tensiometers indicate the availability of water in the soil. The next, if you see electrical resistant blocks, these consist of two electrodes connected to lead wires extending to the soil surface. The electrodes are embedded in the blocks of porous material. It is used to measure soil water tension. Then another one is time domain reflectometer. It is called as TDR also. Time domain reflectometer is used to determine the soil moisture content. And steel rods are placed in the soil and electrical signals are sent through them. The returned signals are measured to determine soil water content. This is the time domain reflectometer TDR. Thank you.